And joining me in the studio now is a local fundraising legend from Wolverhampton who is set to embark on one of his biggest challenges to date. In October, Manny will attempt to walk from Molineux all the way to Stamford Bridge. Manny joins us in the studio now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, James. Thank you for having me here today. And the intro, that word legend should be reserved for, higher people than myself, but you're very kind.
Well,
and
I think
thanks for having me.
It's well deserved when we get someone like yourself in the studio that has, spent years devoting himself to raising money for, a cause like Dementia UK, which we will get into.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this challenge, though, because many people from around Wolverhampton, Wolves fans as well, me included, know you for your charity work.
Yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely incredible, the connection between the fans and charity as a whole. There's so many fundraisers around our city, and fans always dig deep, especially, when times are getting so much harder for everybody, but they still respond, and that's why we keep doing it, because the response is there. People want to donate, they want to help out, and here we are. I'm walking to Chelsea.
Quite literally. What has led to you deciding to take on a challenge of this size, Manny?
The price of petrol, that's what's led me to... No, more people probably start walking anyway, because of cost. I do a challenge every year. I started with local runs and Tough Mudders, Wolf runs I did. Then it sort of went up to 100-mile bike rides. I remember I rode to Anfield for an away game one year. I did the London Marathon in the Yorkshire Three Peaks, and then did the actual London Marathon last year. So this year I was pretty much not had a challenge, set, but I wanted to do something, and literally just came into my head, let's walk somewhere. And
not just down the road.
Well, I did. I mentioned it to my wife, and she sort of said, "Well, you're going to walk to Villa?" And I said, "No, I can't walk to Villa. That's just down the road."
Leicester was too close as well.
Leicester was too close, so we decided London. We've got 4 matches in London in October, and we picked Chelsea, and thankfully it hasn't been changed. So yes, I'll be setting off, but I wanted to also challenge myself, so I'm going to try and do this in just a tad over 2 full days, which is, even when I think about it, it is completely mental. But
it's bonkers.
It is bonkers, but fundraising, you have to be a little bit bonkers.
You do. And let's talk about this challenge, Manny. We're talking 125 miles, 50 hours, 300,000 steps.
Yeah, I sort of roughly worked that out. It may take me slightly longer than 50 hours.
Either way, that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a long way. And I think somebody did say to me, Manny, that's like 5 marathons in 2 days.
Which you've had a little bit of experience running in marathons, haven't you?
1 a year, not 5 in 2 days. But I'm not going to run them. I am going to walk them. So, the first day I'll be setting off. I'll probably have to leave, I think, about 5 o'clock in the morning from Molineux. So,
wow.
It'll be an early start, and I have to get to Banbury. And the hotel have told me they shut doors at 11 o'clock at night, so I have to get there.
You're going to have a word with them and tell them what you're actually... This isn't just a normal,
I did actually tell them they're keeping the hotel open for another hour just for me to arrive. So I'm planning on walking 54 miles that first day. And I think I might be a little bit tired. Getting up early in the morning for a 6 o'clock start, and away again, all the way to Chesham, which is another 48 miles, and then again 6 o'clock in the morning, get up on the Saturday and walk down to Chelsea, which is about 26 miles. So yeah, it's going to be so tough, but more mentally than physically, I think.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the fitness side of this, because I know you're a pretty fit guy. I see you in the gym every day. You're walking here, there and everywhere. You walked to the studios here today. Yeah. How do you prepare for something like this? I know obviously you've got the fitness side, but this is like fitness times 100.
Yeah, I think, you can't really practice a 126-mile walk.
No, you can't.
Pretty much can't. I've been walking a couple of hours every day for the last few days, and I can't. It's a lot of time. I haven't got that much time in a day to practice walking. So physically I feel okay. I sort of know what pace I can walk at, and I know what pace I need to walk at. So that side of it, I feel quite confident, and I am in the gym all the time, and I try and keep fit. Fitness is really, really important anyway. You know, you've only got one body, you might as well look after it. There's not another one in the cupboard anywhere, so we've got to look after it, and this is a good way of looking after the body and also challenging it as well. And I think the key is the mind. And when I think about the cause that we're going to help, and I also think about the people that donate and what they do, and you know, it's their hard-earned money, and that keeps you going every step. You know, there'll be a story or a thought that will keep me going. So and it will happen. You know, I mentioned to my granddad in India recently, he's 94 I think now, and I sort of mentioned it to him, and I said I'm doing this walk, and he sort of laughed at me. He thought, what do you think we did in the 40s? We walked everywhere. It's normal, you know.
It's nothing to them, is it?
It's nothing. So it's just down the road. It's just a long road. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous. I'm excited. But I know the fans will respond, and they already have. I've already had donations coming in from all over the country and even abroad. You know, fans who live in Australia and Canada, America, you know, Germany, like, read up on the stories and the fundraising, and they've been donating. So just can't thank everybody. I'd love to, but there's so many people.
And before we talk about the amount that has already been raised, let's talk about the charity that you are, of course, doing this for, Dementia UK. It's a charity that you hold very close to your heart, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when I got into fundraising, I did try and help different charities, sort of different every year. And 4 years ago, I just read up about dementia. So when people ask me and they say, why dementia? And I say, oh, people are actually suffering, and there are so many families who have loved ones who have this condition. In 2025, 1 million people in this country will have, you know, some form of dementia. It's increasing. In 2018, it killed more people than any other illness. So it's out there. So I always say to people, we shouldn't have to wait until one of our own suffers. If we're in a position, then we should help. And I was passionate about helping them. I became a volunteer ambassador just over 3 years ago, and I've been helping them ever since with, obviously, you know, Samosa Saturdays, which we hold before the football games, which will be coming a week after the walk, believe it or not. So
no pressure there.
No pressure. So
the work race is 100.
Yeah, it's a very busy time, but it's you know, it's a really important cause. They provide free nursing for clinics and care homes and people at home, and even on the end of the phone. So, you know, their mission is that nobody should have to face dementia alone, and there's a lot of people out there who are alone or haven't got the help, and not just the person suffering, but the families and the friends of the people who have to support them. So it's a hugely important cause, and it puts them on the map a little bit, and hopefully we can raise as much money as possible, but more than that, you know, create an awareness about what they do and get people to benefit from their help. And
let's talk about the amounts of money that has been raised, thanks to a huge list of things that you've done, like you mentioned with Samosa Saturdays, marathons. You've done all sorts, and the grand total so far stands at £93,843. That's all been raised for Dementia UK. This is incredible work, Manny.
Well, you know what? That's the second page, James. That's a second Just Giving page. So we started a Just Giving page before, which raised £30,000, and this is the second one. And with other offline donations, we've actually gone past £130,000.
Incredible.
Over the last 4 years, you know, coming up to 4 years, which for me it just blows my mind. But when I see 30,000 fans sitting in a stadium, and I try and come up with something that everybody can play a part in. So, for example, the Samosa Saturdays, which became so popular, and we'll be doing our 15th edition, you know, everybody can literally come to the store and play a part and help, and it just raises a lot of money, and it creates a lot of awareness. So I can never ever thank the Wolves community, especially 99% of the fundraising comes from the fans of the football club, which is incredible. So, you know, a huge well done to all those people contributing.
Amazing stuff. Manny takes on his biggest challenge yet when he attempts to walk from Molineux to Stamford Bridge this October, just in time for the Chelsea versus Wolves game. He's thought this through very carefully.
Online, on smart speaker, and on 101.8.
101.8.
Number one for Wolverhampton.
WCRFM.
WCRFM.